So we've got the Predator 212cc chipper shredder. Picked this up from the Encinitas Harbor Freight location, and it was on sale. They were having a Veterans Day weekend sale. I got it for $3.99. It's regular $600, and this same exact unit is on Amazon right now for $900. So I think I got a good deal. I normally shy away from Harbor Freight tools, but I watched a few reviews on this, and it looks like a really good deal. And I need a chipper shredder. I need to be able to put my leaves in there and mulch them so that I can get compost going. And let's unbox this thing. So it's about 120, 130 pounds. It says 120 pounds, but it was a two-person lift. I think it's probably crated inside that box. I know there's wood on the bottom. Well packaged so far. Looks like something popped it. Oh yeah, I see wood right there through that hole. So let's open it up. So, as suspected, it is well crated in here. They've got a nice crate built all the way around this thing. It looks like it is actually mostly assembled. I do see a couple of parts in here, but oh, I see a loose wheel down in there. Okay, so there's going to be some assembly, but well crated. That explains why it feels as though it weighs more than 120 pounds. So, alright, I'm going to have to take a couple of pieces of this crate apart and see if we can figure out the best way to uncrate it. So look at there, the whole box is going to lift right off the top. So if you get one of these and it's still boxed up, it looks like the whole box lifts right off the top of the crate. Boom. Good to know. So let's see if we can find the instructions before we continue uncrating. Not instructions. Honeycomb packaging. Instructions. What do you say we give them a read? This is actually a really good operations manual. It goes through a lot of, it's got great engine specs in here. In case I ever have to troubleshoot this engine, tells me the compression ratio, which spark plugs to use, what they're supposed to be gapped at, valve clearance. I mean, if I had to get into this thing and really do a deep engine repair, I pretty much have everything I need right here without having to look up anything on that engine, so that's cool. Tells me the fuel type, which we're probably going to use True Fuel in this. Anyway, the engine oil type, below 32 degrees and above 32 degrees. We're going to treat it as though it's above 32 degrees, even though it will get colder at night. We won't be running it in 32 degree temperature. So anyway, lots of cool stuff in here about the actual operation of this thing. What the noise level is at 104 dB at 22 feet. That's pretty loud. So I would say hearing protection is a good idea. Goes through a whole checklist of things to do while operating. The actual assembly is only that right there. I mean, 5 quick steps. So it's mostly assembled. We got to put the wheels on, we've got to put the handle on, and then there's a little stand on the bottom that we have to put on. So there's not much assembly. It doesn't say a thing in here. And now from here on is the rest of this is operating instructions. Operating above 3,000 feet, some different things you're going to want to read as far as carburation, pre-start checks it goes through, manual starting, the choke. If you've never operated a small engine before, I'm pretty sure this thing is going to get you to the point where you have it running. How to stop it, how to clean and store it. Yeah, it's a good operating manual. Doesn't say anything about getting it out of the crate, so I'm just going to start taking that wood apart. Okay, that may be enough to get it out. I mean, 2 guys probably could lift this up out of here without taking it apart, but I don't know. I mean, it's in there pretty tight, but I think with these 2 leading edges busted loose, I can get it out. Except, we got a zip tie right here. Tires are not filled with air. Probably that one is a little bit. This would be better with 2 people, but my other person is somewhere else doing whatever she's doing. We're going to use that tire as a kickstand. Okay, the first thing it wants me to do is install the wheels. So we're going to lean this back a little onto whatever that is I'm leaning it onto. Got some paper on here. So we'll put a wheel on. Looks like it wants to slide inside of this brake. Then we're going to put a flat washer on and a cotter pin. We're going to bend that cotter pin out. So that it can't come out. And I'll show you a close-up of that once I get this one here on. Same thing. Obviously I'm putting the air valve side out on both of them. Slide that onto the unpainted surface. Lift this brake up out of the way. Give it a little nudge. There. Put our flat washer on, cotter pin, and then bend that cotter pin back so that it can't come out. So you see that brake assembly there? Had to lift that a little in order to force the wheel on to the axle. Comes with a large washer and then a cotter pin. You just put the cotter pin through, bend one side of it one way, the other side of it the other way. If you want to, you don't really need to bend them both, but other side, boom, wheels are on. Okay, here's what the stand looks like. We're going to spin her around for the purpose of the video, instead of me going around to the back of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it all the way down onto there. So the stand is going to go just like that. Okay? Okay, so what they say here is secure the support leg, that'd be this guy, part number 46 in the figure, to the engine using bolts 45, shock absorbers 53, large flat washers 54, flat washers 28, lock washers 26, and nylon lock nuts 34. Now what they don't have here is an exploded view of what number each part is, okay? So I'm going to break this down for you. They want us to use number 45 bolts. That's going to be these longer bolts, okay? Number 53 shock absorbers. That's going to be these large black washers that are made out of some kind of a hardened rubber, okay? They want us to use 53 large flat washers. That's the largest flat washers that are in the packet. And there's 4 of all of these things, so that should get you closer to where you need to be. They want us to use the 54 flat washers, so that's the next size down, and they still fit on this bolt, okay? They want us to use 28 lock washers. That's these washers that have a split in them. They look like a washer that's been cut and then bent a little bit to the side. That's a lock washer. When you put pressure on that, it wants to spring back, maintaining pressure on it, helping prevent vibration from allowing your nut to screw off, okay? And then they want us to use the number 34 lock nuts, and that's going to be these nuts right here that have a little, if you look inside, a little piece of blue nylon on the inside there. When that nylon makes contact with the threads, and as you continue to screw it down onto those threads, that again, so we got a couple of measures here that will hopefully prevent vibration from making this leg come apart. Alright, we're going to put a lock washer up against the head, then we're going to put a flat washer, we're going to put that through here, we're going to put the shock absorber in the middle, and then we're going to put the nut on the other side of that, okay? So let me get a close-up of that one right there. The bolt here, just inside of the bolt head I have a lock washer, the one that looks like it's split, okay, right there. Just inside of that I have the large flat washer, okay. Just inside of that is my shock absorber. Bolt goes all the way through. On the other side I have my nut with that nylon around the inside. That's my lock nut, okay. So I'm going to do that order of assembly to all 4 of these, and then I'm going to tighten them down. Forgot a washer on this first one. Before you put the nut on, the smaller washer, put that guy on there. Okay, I'm not going to tighten it all the way yet until I get them all kind of snug, because I I want it to kind of self-center on the holes here. Okay, now I'm going to mash those rubber pieces of plastic a little bit. I'm going to tighten until they're just starting to mash a little. Not too much though. So now I got lock washers, lock nuts in place. I got compressed hard rubber in there, also trying to push out on this. I would think that that's about, other than also adding Loctite, we've done about everything we can do here to prevent vibration from being a problem. I will say that I expect a lot of vibration out of this because of what it is. So, but there you go. That was not that complicated. So now we've got to put the handle on. Okay, the handle goes on like this, leaning up. You've got 4 small bolts and 4 lock nuts left over from your hardware package. So right now there's some potential to drop one of these lock nuts down inside this hopper. We're going to pay real close attention not to do that, because if you do, you're going to either be turning this thing upside down and hoping to get it out, or you're going to be taking the clean out off the back in order to try to fish it out. So let's not drop it. We're going to take our bolt and our nut. We're going to put the bolt through here. Okay. Bolt through here. Take that nut. Hold on to it nice and tight. Make sure we get some good thread contact. This one you're going to kind of have to reach up under here. I almost dropped it right there. Whoo! Don't drop it. Don't drop this in there either. Put that on there. Cinch it down. Voila. So there it is. Not much to the assembly. I feel like that was pretty easy. We need a couple of things. We need some air in these tires. We need some oil. Keep in mind, anytime you buy anything new that has a gas engine attached to it, they don't ship these things with oil in them. So don't just throw some gas in it and take off, alright? Read the directions and make sure you put oil in it. This is a 4-stroke engine, so it's got an oil reservoir. Hopefully you know what that means. If you don't, again, read the instructions. So we're going to fill it with oil. We're gonna fill it with gas, and we're gonna go chip some branches and mulch some leaves. Okay, we're gonna put some oil in this. It says in the manual that if it's low on oil, or if it has no oil in it, it won't start, so that's a good thing. It's a nice safety feature they put on there for those of y'all that are not familiar with how these engines work. A 4-stroke engine needs oil in the reservoir in order to run correctly, in order to keep the cylinders lubricated and keep from overheating. Two-stroke engine, it's not the case. You mix the oil with the fuel. So make sure you put oil in it. You try to start this thing and it won't start, and you didn't put oil in it, that's going to be a doofus moment for you. So we're just going to put this in here, and I don't know how much oil it's going to take. Make sure it's on a level surface. Put the dipstick in, screw it in, pull it out, check it, and there is nothing on there, so it takes more than that. About that much. About that much. That looks about right. It's about a 1/4 inch down from the top of the dipstick. So I'm going to say it's full of oil now. The manual says to use no more than 10% ethanol. You know, that ethanol is not our friend in these small engines. It's what causes the engines to gunk up, the carburetors to gunk up after they've been sitting. What I like to use in my small engines is True Fuel. This is 4-cycle True Fuel. There's also 2-cycle True Fuel. And this True Fuel has no ethanol in it. It's gonna run cleaner, and when this thing sits for a while in the wintertime, it's less likely to get gummed up and then not want to start come spring. Now keep in mind, this True Fuel is expensive. I think it's about 20 bucks for one of these gallons. I don't remember. I don't really look at the price anymore. I just grab it at Home Depot. But it's the only thing that I run in my small engines. At least in my weed eaters and stuff. My lawn tractor I put regular in because I run so much fuel through it, and I use it so often it doesn't spend as much time idle. Like my weed eater, you know, I may use that 1, maybe 2 more times, and then put it away for the winter, and it'll sit there. And even if you run the fuel out of it, like people say to do with regular fuel, it still gunks up over the winter. I've gone through some weed eaters over the years because of fuel, and I'll tell you, this True Fuel really treats it nice, and it starts up, you know, first pull or second pull in the spring. So, all right, so we've got fuel in this thing, we've got oil in this thing. We've got an on-off switch right here. We're going to set it to on, and we're going to see if it'll start. All right, so this is pretty straightforward here. Right here you've got a rabbit and a turtle. That's your throttle. This is turtle. This is rabbit. Slow, fast. Keep it on slow. Okay. Right here you've got start or run. It's on run. Switch that to start. That's your choke. Down here you got a little picture of a gas pump. Off, on, off, on. Okay. If that's off, then it's not allowing fuel to flow into the carburetor. So this will be on, this will be choke or start, and this will be turtle. All right. Okay, so now we're just going to grab this. Look at that. First pull. Take the choke off. Switch it off of start and on to run. Now we can give it a little throttle.
Make sure that you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and click that little bell so you get the notifications when we go live.